Yo, it's Friday night, 9 p.m. sharp. You know what time it is.
Narcocop and Timothy T hitting you with that Lambo energy.
He's Mike by name, but the streets call Narcocop. Used to bust dealers, now he's busting long shots. Retired badge, now he's bad with the bets. Octagon fiend, cashing slips, no regrets. Friday night fights, Seki poured on ice. Lambo plays podcast, breaking down the price. Got parlays, KO, subs in round 3. Split decision magic, cash it like a G. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KO's a B, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big LFG. Tim Troiano, lotion in hand. Tennis coach by day, fight fan of the land. Watching WMMA, yeah, you know the drill. Playing with himself, just joking, but still. Impressions fly, Katona in the house. Rosa's Jr. squeaking, Tim's loud like a mouse. Cornolle vibes, he's stealing the show. Narcos like bruh, but they still go toe to toe. Round 2 chaos, round 3 gold. Split decisions, bets unfold. Side case sipping, parlays lit. Lambo energy, never quit. Lambo plays, it's a wild parade. Long shots flying, getting that paid. Tim with impressions, Narco's got the locks. Whisper bet of the week, gonna shock your socks. Lambo plays, the odds go cray. Spin that wheel, it's a betting ballet. KOSOB, round 2 or 3. Hit that split, cashing big LFG. Narcocop, Timothy T, Friday nights, yes. Lambo plays podcast. Where long shots live large and splits hit harder. We out. We out. We out.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Narcocop MMA. This is the Lambo Plays Podcast, episode 141, UFC Vegas 108. I'm your host, Mike, along with my co-host, Timothy Troiano. Timothy, 12 fights, UFC Vegas 108, and actually another good fight night card, man. Some good matchups, some exciting young fighters, and a couple of oldies on the card as well. So at least they matched the oldie with the oldie, which is not bad. But yeah, man, how you feeling? You got your CrossFit shirt on. Hopefully you're doing some CrossFit, getting in shape. And yeah, how's everything else?
Things are good, dude. Things are good. I wish that Ricci Ribas fight would have lasted longer. But you know, the house is clean. We're ready to go.
All right. It didn't last too long. It was supposed to be a fight that goes the distance, but you know, shit happens, and it's MMA. So with that being said, let me go over to my chat. Shout out my chat. 93 people in here. Elijah, let's effing go. He says, Sharp boy, good to see you guys. I hear the NFL's around the corner. You all excited? Yeah, NFL is always. I love the NFL. So having UFC Saturday nights into Sunday NFL is a dream, Tim. Dixon says, Narco and Tim, I have my gummy worms, my kettle corn popcorn, and apple soda ready for tonight's special segment with the great Cornholio. It's so legendary. It's even in the intro of the song. He's right. I didn't even think of that, but he's absolutely right. Azure Blue says, hello, Narcocop and Tim. Welcome, chat. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's effing go. My favorite show of the week. Thank you so much. Appreciate you very much. Always supporting. Always. I mean, she's always helping us out. So really appreciate that. Mushroom. What's up, Narco and Tim? Lambo's incoming. Another great supporter of the show. Mushroom MMA also always in the house. Jesse Q. Happy Friday, gamblers. What's up? How are you doing? DA07 says, a chat for Tim to read. Tim? It's for you.
I don't know. I can't read that right now. I'm gonna have to look at that later on.
Tim cannot read that right now. He will have to get back to you later on it. I think in a couple of fights or something. Felipe, always a good card to hit some Lambos. Exactly, my friend. Oreo, what up, though? Danny Link, best part of my day. Let's get it, fellas. Appreciate you. City Boy just reposted the stream. Can you guys do that for me? Repost, retweet my tweet or anything just to get the word out. What is up? Jewish Better in the house as well. Vinny Diaz, what's up? Daz Files, let's go. Smashed this weird card. I don't know. I like this card. Subhuman, what is up, my friend? Thank you for joining as well. Who else do we have in here? Alexander, let's go. First time on live. Damn, let's give him a fist bump, Tim. It's his first time in the house. Haymaker, finally have a book that does splits on every fight. Oh, Haymaker went out of his way to get a book that has split decisions, Tim. Just so you know. So don't let the guy down. One step closer. This song is so bad, it's good. Oh my goodness. That's a mushroom saying. Why are you saying this? Dravi, what's up, my friend? Good luck with your bets as well this weekend. Gabriel Huber, Narco and Kent, Tim, let's effing go. What else? Who else do we have in here? All right, Tim. 140 in here. Hopefully they come in and come in hard. But we will start out first fight of the night. It's in the strawweight division. It is the 10-2 Piero Rodriguez versus the 15-5 Caitlin Souza. What do you got for us here? WMMA, Tim's specialty. Give us a Lambo play.
I think this is an interesting fight. I think on the feet, it's pretty close. I think Piera is a good pressure striker. She's, I think, physically stronger. You got pretty solid takedowns, good entries, can clinch you up, get you down from there as well. I think the takedown defense on Souza is a little bit questionable. I also think that the way that she strikes is going to allow Piera to drop a level and get her down. She kind of overthrows in her punches, overextends, throws one or two too many punches to stay in the range. She's not like an in and out fighter. So I think that's going to give Piera plenty of opportunities to get her down. I know everybody's like talking this week. I've been hearing a lot of people talking about the sub for Piera. The problem with me is that she never really goes for them, but it's not a terrible line. But I'm going to take shots on just round 2, round 3 that she breaks her over time. They're pretty good lines. It's plus 1,400, plus 2,000. If you want to get super, super greasy, KO2, KO3 is 33-1, 45-1, but I think it could be a sub or a KO. But I think she could get some really advantageous positions, kind of similar to when she was beating the shit out of Cornolle before she headbutted her twice. I think it's kind of a similar deal here. I think she can get on top. I think Cornolle is kind of like a similar fighter on bottom, that when she gets on bottom, she really doesn't do very much to get up and just allows people to beat the shit out of him. I think Sousa's going to kind of do that as well. So I like Piera round 2, round 3, and don't hate shots on KO 2-3.
Yeah, I mean, this fight is actually interesting from the sense that, Caitlin Souza is coming back from a close decision loss to Angela Hill. And the fight prior to that, I mean, she was a huge, huge dog against Yasmin Jauregui. And honestly, she was losing every minute of the fight. And then she lands a big shot. Yasmin goes down and she found the RNC. But like Caitlin Souza, one thing that I think I've noticed a lot on tape is her physicality is just not very good, man. Obviously Karine Silva's at 125, but like just the way she took her down, it was almost like she was feeling bad for her. She's like, let me take you down nicely, gently, and let me just heel hook you instead of like putting you through a whole, through the ringer. She just heel hooks her. But you watch some of these fights on Invicta. Christina Williams got a bunch of takedowns in that fight. Giselle Marrero in SFT got a bunch of takedowns in that fight. And it's just, I know those are at higher weight classes, but I just don't see a lot of physicality from this girl, to be honest. And it's the opposite with Piera Rodriguez. You see a lot of physicality. I have actually I ran the numbers on her, and if you take away the Jillian Robertson fight, right? Because you shouldn't be grappling in that fight. It's just idiotic to grapple with Jillian Robertson. She's attempted 30 takedowns, bro, in the UFC in 5 fights. So she knows the drill. Like, she knows, even in the Cornolle fight, right? She attempted a couple takedowns. I don't think she needed to in that one. She was absolutely lighting up Cornolle, and then she does the stupid headbutt thing, and she gets disqualified in a fight where she's probably going to finish. And to be honest, I think Cornolle quit there. Like, the headbutt wasn't even that hard, dude. And she like quit. And anyways, that's Vieira's fault. You know, it's not like if Cornolle found a way to win, props to her. You know, she found a way to win. But I think Vieira gets takedowns here. I think Vieira can easily compete on the feet here as well. You know, she's aggressive, she throws, and Souza needs to watch out for the takedowns. So I really like Vieira Rodriguez in this spot here. I think Vieira Rodriguez, the thing with her is her cardio is like, I don't think it's great, but I don't think it's bad. But she pushes such a grappling heavy pace that I get it. You know, you're going to slow down. But I think a girl like Caitlin Souza honestly can break here. Like, she's been finished in 4 out of her 5 losses, right? The only one she didn't get finished was Hill. And honestly, when I watched back that fight, man, I think Hill is done, man. How slow she looked, how like that was just not Angela Hill. She wasn't physical. She wasn't really mean in that fight. It was just a weird look. And I think Vieira Rodriguez finishes round 2, 3 here. I'm just going KO. I think she's gonna land ground and pound. I think she's gonna, yeah, obviously she could sub too. I'm not saying, you know, 2, 3 are still good numbers, but for me, I'm gonna sprinkle the 2, 3, but I'm gonna hit the KO 2, 3 at 21-1. I think she can land ground and pound and finish this chick. Honestly, honestly, there's other things about this chick that I feel like she can get shown the door. Like, she can kind of quit when the going is getting really, really tough on her. So, yeah, I like Vieira. I think she's a dog. I think she's a girl that will push a pace and she will grapple, which is what I want to see. So, yeah, 2-3 KO plus 2,100 rounds 2 and 3, like you said, it's not bad. Second fight of the night. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 14-7 Felipe Buenas versus the 13-0 Rafael Big Cheater Estevam. That's his nickname, the Big Cheater. He's missed weight again. I mean, this guy's annoying with this weight miss. I mean, 130 pounds. I mean, 4-pound weight miss here. It didn't even look like he fucking tried. And honestly, I called this in my Discord. I said he's going to miss weight. Short notice. This guy can't even make weight on regular fight camp. How the fuck is he going to make weight on short notice, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I gave this play out earlier to the Discord. It's actually a play of mine. That's what I'm going to go with here. It's fight ends in sub at plus 335. It's on Bally's. I gave it earlier in the week. I think it was like Wednesday or something or Tuesday. I just think there's going to be a shit ton of grappling. Both of these guys go for submissions. Buenas literally sells out for submissions. And if he doesn't get it, he's probably going to get subbed, you know. Honestly, there's another one that I liked a lot. Buenas sub 1 is 30-1. 30-1 on Hard Rock. This guy has, I mean, the transition to the armbar that he has, honestly, it's one of the slickest armbars. Like, very, very fast. His hips, when he throws up that armbar, are super fast, dude. Like, he's throwing it up very, very fast. I mean, he got some of these Russians almost in these armbars in ACA. And you saw him against Jose Johnson, man. Jose Johnson tried to do everything in his power to get off the armbar, and he kept flowing with him until he got stuck on the fence and he got him. So, I mean, I get it. Estevan's a black belt, but I mean, he could still get armbarred or something. Like, Buenas is really good on the ground. So, yeah, for me, it's fight ends in sub 335. That's the play, but, you know, Buenas sub 1, 30-1. Why not? Tim?
Yeah, I really like the end sub as well, plus 300. But I think I'd lean on Rafa sub 1-2 for me. I do think, like you said, obviously if you're playing end sub, you think that both guys can have viable paths to getting it. But I think, like what you said, I think that there's going to be Bunas going for subs and being like really, really aggressive in doing that, and it's just going to allow Rafael to pass into pretty advantageous positions. So yeah, I like N sub, but I also like Rafa sub 1 plus 1100, sub 2 plus 1600 for Rafa, but cover both sides on the N sub, like you said. I think that's a good way to go to keep it real. But yeah, I think that the positions that Bunas is going to give up, just being aggressive, going for shit, is going to allow pretty advantageous positions and advances from Rafael. His cheating,
yes, it's definitely possible, and he's a gas shot, but short notice. I was thinking about Buenas round 3, but he's also a gasser. That's my
I thought the exact same thing. I had it. They're both gassers. Yeah, I think.
Can you imagine when this gets to round 3 and they've attempted like 25 subs apiece?
They're gonna have like oxygen tanks for both these guys.
Probably. All right, let's move on. Fight number 3. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 13-1 Austin Bashi versus the 9-3 Giannis. Tim, what do you got?
Full transparency, I only taped one of the Giannis fights, and honestly, when I watched it, I was just like, this is really all I needed to see. I was trying to get some grappling tape on him and just to see kind of what he does with his takedown defense and what he does in grappling scenarios. And I was just like, oh, dude, this guy's fucked. So I pretty much thought in one fight. I mean, obviously, that could be bad capping, and you want to take more than one fight, but it was a recent fight, and I just did not like what this dude does on the ground and in his wrestling and grappling situations. That being said, it just seems like a layup for Bashi after they give him the dumbest first fight of all time versus C-Rod. I think that this is them giving him a gift and getting him a finish and a good opportunity for him to get his confidence back. So I like Bashi sub 1 plus 270, sub 2 is plus 500. I think he gets him out pretty early. He could KO him, to be honest, too, on the ground, but I'm going to lean with sub.
Yeah. I mean, I like Bashi a lot as a prospect, honestly. I really do. He's young. He's got good cardio. He's got good grappling. He's got decent striking. Striking's getting better. They bring Giannis on short notice. And the other thing about Giannis is this guy is a 35er his whole career. Like, even if you look at his body, like, he's just not a 45er, bro. Like, I know he fought his last fight against Aguiar at 45, but this guy's a career 35er, and he looks like, when these guys were at face-offs, yes, their height is the same, but the body, the structure of their body is so different. Giannis just not very good takedown defense. He gets his back taken a lot. Mo Miller almost had a couple of subs on him. Mo Miller strictly, he's a wrestler. He's not really a very good jiu-jitsu guy. He got subbed by Gabriel Wanderlei, who's extremely good. Don't get me wrong. That guy is high level on the ground. But yeah, I mean, Austin Bashi is going to put this guy through the ringer. He's in short notice. He's going to shoot a lot of takedowns. He's going to get him down. I can guarantee you that. And I'm going to go with 2-3 sub, Tim, at plus 270. I honestly think if you can get sub at like plus 100 is fine. In all honesty, I think he's going to sub this guy. This guy gets his back taken way too much for Austin Bashi not to sub him. And Austin is going to be strong through 3 rounds against someone like this. Yes. Did he look tired against C-Rod? Yes. But did you guys see the amount of scrambles and the amount of takedown attempts he needed? He's not going to do that. See, this guy's not stuffing. He's not going 3 of 19 against this guy with takedowns. And this guy's not going to scramble anywhere near what C-Rod scrambled. So it's a completely different matchup. And I think Austin Bashi, to be honest, Dorian Ramos is a much better grappler / scrambler than this dude. And he caught him. So yeah, Bashi 2-3 sub 270. I'm fine with that. I think it's a decent price. Evelyn Stone, let's go. All right. Fight number 4, Tim. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 6-2 Nick Klein versus the 9-3 Andre Pulayev. I will kick this one off. I'm just going to play Klein straight up sub at plus 500. It's on Hard Rock and Bally's. I think he's going to be way more physical than Pulayev. I think he's going to get him down. I think he's going to get the chances to sub this dude. I don't think Pulayev is like awful, like on the ground. But once he gets flattened out, he's awful. He's not awful until you flatten him out. He still works and tries to get up. But once you get him down flattened, he's awful. And Klein is strong, bro. Like he's there's one thing he's good at. It's grappling, it's wrestling and getting you down. And I truly think he's going to get Pulayev down and probably sub him. He's just going to be way too strong for him, in my opinion. So on the feet, Pulayev's the much better striker. But even there, like, I don't know about Pulayev. Something about him. He looks like he has clean striking. He just looks janky, like he's going to fall down every time he kicks or something. Like he doesn't look like he's well-balanced guy, or I don't know, something about him. This, I thought I was going to bet him pre-tape. And then when I taped him, I was like, nah, I can't bet this dude. So, yeah, I think Klein sub 5-1. Not much else, honestly. I think Klein looks in very, very good shape, by the way. And I was impressed that he even took down Abdul Malik, even though it was after he hurt him.
Yeah, he was also clinching him in that fight too. And it wasn't just getting murdered in the clinch. And I think Malik is a fucking just a gorilla. So yeah, I agree, man. I think this fight is two guys that I don't think that are like really that good, but Pulayev to me, like I agree. When I'm watching Pulayev, I just think he's like extremely soy. Like I just don't feel like the guy is like he was pretty much in like Asics shoes the entire fight versus Christian Leroy Duncan, and he was just running away for as long as he possibly could. The second that he couldn't run away, he was just getting murdered in round 3. But it was just a dude avoiding a fight, and I just, like you said, I just think that the Liam Anderson fight, I just feel like if Klein gets any of the positions, I know Liam lost that fight, but the time that he had and control that he had his back. He had opportunities to get in subs. I mean, Klein locked in a sub in the Dana White Contender Series with 0 hooks, and he just not in any position. And he's like, you have to have a good grip on somebody. I'm not saying that the other guy didn't like suck, but to be able to like get that sub and lock it in with 0 hooks was kind of impressive. I think he's got a good squeeze. So yeah, Klein sub plus 480. I think it's. I don't know. I think it'd be interesting to hear what you got to say too. I know we both pick sub, but like I saw some fights on Klein where his gas looked bad, and I saw some fights where his gas looked good. Like it looked like it kind of was both. I just don't know really what do you think on his gas?
I don't think his gas is actually bad, honestly. I think it's okay. But he does. There is like like last fight, it looked like he completely gassed. I don't even know. Like, I don't think he got hit that hard, and it looked like he gassed, right? Yeah. But it was like 3-4 weeks notice. And he talked about, honestly, he did talk about how, the bright lights, the UFC, and he truly, that got the best of him. He said, I went, the thing is, he said he went to the corner after round 1, and he's like, how am I going to win? And when you think like that, how am I going to win?
You're halfway there.
Yeah, you're there, bro.
You're there.
Like he just said, hey, he's like, how am I going to win? And to me, that's weird. So, I mean, is he going to gas? Maybe, maybe not. But hey, he kind of quit there,
Yeah.
He literally quit. So.
Yeah, I like the Klein sub too. I think that's the best. I think that's the best way.
That's how he wins, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's the only. I mean, obviously, if he top times him and he gets him for 2 rounds and survives, I could see him winning a decision if Pulayev defends subs. But yeah. I'll go sub.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 5. It is in the middleweight division. It is the 10-3 Rodolfo Vieira versus the 5-3 Tresean Gore. Tim, this is an interesting one with another cheater in the house in Tresean Gore.
Yeah, man, these fucking guys that I think it's just so insane when these grapplers are they're getting like fucking 15, 5-pound weight misses and 3.5-pound weight misses, and you're just like, dude, these guys are, I think it should be more than 20% that they lose. But yeah, that's just me. For me, I think Vieira can win in a bunch of different ways in this fight. I think he's durable enough to take shots from Tresean Gore, or as Weezy likes to say, Teresian Gore. I think I'm just not super impressed with Gore in general. I think that I think he can be gassy. I think he can be low volume. I think even if Vieira isn't getting takedowns in this fight, I still think he could win a decision just by volume and jab, and just like, I just don't see Gore I think Gore needs moments in a lot of his fights, and he doesn't throw enough volume where you're like, okay, this guy's going to piece up Vieira for 15 minutes or two rounds clearly. So I think that this fight standing, I think it's close, but I think you could also say Vieira wins a decision by standing. But I think it's, one takedown with 2 minutes to go in any round, and he's getting a sub. I just think I even think that he could. I even could see a clinch and like a standing back take from fucking Vieira in this one, where he doesn't even need to get a takedown. He's just he's really good at that too. So it's a used Corolla, Vieira sub plus 155, sub 2 plus 700, sub 3 plus 1100. I think eventually, maybe round 1 it's a little bit easier for Gore to defend some takedowns, but then I think eventually Vieira is going to get him down and sub him.
Yeah, I am just going with sub, man. It's 155. It's enough for me. It's literally enough because, even though Gore has shown that he does have good takedown defense, don't get me wrong. He has good takedown defense. He's shown that. It's at 83%. The problem is you have to look like last time out, honestly, Tim, I think I had Tulio in the late rounds, like 2-3, whatever. But I also had sprinkled sub because I thought Tulio might grapple some. He didn't even shoot a single takedown, right? And then you see that, you look at these guys that are trying to take him down, and it's like Josh Fremd, and it's fucking Antonio Tricoli, and it's fucking, the one guy that's a good wrestler is Cody Brundage. He took him down, I'm not saying Vieira is a great wrestler, but let's look at Vieira a little bit, right? He got Petrosky down one time, but he was 1 for 11. But Petrosky's a really good wrestler himself. It's not easy to get the guy down, right? Then you look at all these other guys, and he literally gets everybody down, outside of Chris Curtis, right? Every other person he's gotten down. So I just feel like, a guy like Tresean Gore, who shells up a lot, he does a lot of this shit against the fence. I honestly think Vieira could punch his way in and then shoot a double leg and get him down. And once he gets him down, I think I don't think Gore is very good on the ground, to be honest. He hasn't really been tested, but I'm going to guess that he's not very good. He missed weight again, which tells me, this guy again was probably lazy at MMA Lab. He wasn't doing the cardio, or he could be injured. I don't know, but he missed weight. And so, yeah, man, Vieira's still taking the fight, but I think he's going to get him down and honestly work him. So last fight, a lot of people were on Vieira, and he didn't come through. It was a close fight, but it was mostly stand-up. I don't see this one being mostly stand-up. I think he's going to take him down and smash him. So plus 155. I don't know what round, honestly. Could be any round. Yeah, and honestly, Vieira also might have the better cardio of the two here. Be honest. I don't know about Gore's cardio. We've seen him go 3-round one time, and he was absolutely death gassed in round 3 against Battle.
Yeah, Vieira's not gassing like hard unless he's pushing a pace grappling.
Bro, the Frem fight, he was literally melting in round 2. And then Frem let me shoot a takedown and put my head in a nice guillotine and get choked out. Just didn't make sense. But Either way, I mean, Gore has power on the feet. I don't want to take that away from him, but I think it's a world of difference when you hit the ground. So yeah, I like the sub here. Let's see who else is in chat here. Cody, what's up, my man? Thank you for joining. Good luck this weekend. Half the battle. Dan, my boy Dan, smash the like, gentlemen. Listen to the man. And Dan is my guy. Dan is my guy, and go support his channel, Half the Battle. All right, Tim. Fight number 6. It is in a bantamweight division. It is the 9-1 Rinya Nakamura versus the 9-2 Nathan Fletcher. I will kick this one off. I mean, Rinya Nakamura, one, I don't know. Maybe he was injured. I have no idea. Right? 2, maybe he had too much to eat before the fight. Or 3, maybe he's just a dumbass. And that's also possible. He comes out last fight. And this guy, mind you, he attempts one. Then people are like, oh, well, it's Muing Gap 3 times by Kung Ho King. Right? And that's what he deserves. So now he's fighting Nathan Fletcher, right? I think, you would think, right? Watching Nathan Fletcher, it's not good. It really is. And taking him down 6 times is not good. And he has good jiu-jitsu. So maybe he makes Rinya work a little bit harder for takedowns and scrambles well with him, which is something he does okay. He's a good scrambler. And he's probably the better BJJ guy of the 2, right? But honestly, this fight, I'm scouring these props. I really can't come to anything. Like, I don't think Rinya subbed for that fight before that. Was it, let me look. Yeah, he couldn't sub Fernie Garcia, right? And then, honestly, Carlos Vera, not only he couldn't sub him, and I know Carlos Vera was good on the ground, but Carlos Vera had a separated shoulder. Do you remember that? He had a separated shoulder in the middle of the fight. He still couldn't sub that guy. So, yeah, I mean, look at these subs, bro. It's like he's got a key lock. He's got 1 sub, and it's a key lock against some complete bum. Complete, utter bum. So, yeah, it's hard for me to get to a prop here. I mean, maybe Fletcher decision at 6-1 is how I would look at it. Maybe. I don't know if he can win a decision. I think Nakamura wins, but I think he wins by decision, Tim, and it's like -110. So honestly, this is a pass. I don't like anything. I really don't like anything on this fight as far as a prop is. For me, I don't like anything. What do you like here, Tim?
I mean, I totally agree with the Rinya take. It's just the dude. He like went full Herzog. Like I don't Gaffarov. Like you kind of you took the take I was going to say with Gaffarov that the people are talking about this guy like he's this just insane wrestling beast that can't be taken down, and it's useless to go for takedowns. Like, what are you even talking about? Like. Kang taking really anybody down is like I get like Castaneda being like, okay, Castaneda's solid. Like he's not phenomenal wrestler, but good enough that you'd be like, okay, I can understand. But to me, like Kang getting you down is kind of red flaggish to me for a wrestler. I think Rinya, like you said, like he's either super, super dumb. Something was like I just totally full her. Like you said, Olajuwon. No, you never go full Herzog, but he absolutely was full Herzog in that fight. I think that this fight is, like I think like he could finish him late. I think Rinya could finish him late. I think he could KO him. Honestly, I think he's better. Like throws hard on the feet. Like I don't think that Fletcher's striking is good. I think it could be I would lean that the KO over the sub, but ground and pound to a back take, something like that. I don't think he's gonna like advance positions and like process sub Fletcher, because I think Fletcher's jiu-jitsu is better as well, but I do think it is something that he could beat him up on the ground and get a back take, something like that. So like a kind of like just a simple sub. But yeah, Rinya round 2 is +800. Rinya round 3 is +1200. like I said, I think he could. I think he could sub or KO him. I would lean KO, but yeah, I think I'll take shots in the late round props. I think that he could beat him up on the feet.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it could. I mean, he has a nice, powerful left hand. Honestly, Fletcher has shown toughness in the fights that I watched. Like, I think he's a tough guy. Has he been finished? Actually, he has been finished.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Oh, it was a head. I remember it. It was a head kick. It was kind of a meme. You know, it was kind of a meme. But yeah, I mean, he's shown toughness. He's got a bunch of subs too. So yeah, I mean, you want to take a shot? How big is it, Tim?
8-1, 12-1.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna fault you for it if you want to take a big shot. I just didn't like anything, and I'm like, am I gonna give something that I don't like? Nah. All right, let's move on. Fight number 7. It is in the featherweight division. It is the 10-1 Danny Silva versus the 15-1 Kevin Vallejos. This one's yours, Tim.
Yeah, I have too many props written down on this one, which means I probably shouldn't bet it because I see like a bunch of different ways that this fight can go. I think that the money line's a little bit wide. I think you have a striker versus striker. One fighter has more wrestling upside, and that would be Silva for me. You're not seeing Vallejos really wrestle a lot in fights. He's just going strike for strike. He's smaller fighter by a decent amount, height, only couple inches reach disadvantage. This just, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Vallejos is good, but like this just seems majorly hype job. Like I think again, like we just bet, we see these guys in losses that, fight well, and you're like, and they just get overvalued. And this is just a classic spot like that where you just say, did he beat Gene Silva in a round? Yes. Did it seem like Gene Silva was fucking around for 5 minutes and then says, all right, I need to go? Yeah, for sure. He was durable enough to take his shots, and I think he's got powerful striking. I think he's got good process with striking. But when you're talking about like, second fight in the UFC, fighting, is it second or third? Maybe he fights Choi last fight, and I just think that Choi is completely washed at this point. Guy who also doesn't throw like massive volume early and kind of slowly gets his reads and then starts to pick it up a little bit. Silva's going to throw a ton of volume. I think Silva's really hittable. That's the problem that I have with him. I think he can get hurt. He was wrestling against Kulabau. Kulabau made just gigantic mistakes in that fight and gave opportunities away. I thought he had a chance to win that fight, and he was dumbass. So to me, I just feel like, honestly, I see way too many different ways that this fight could go. I think if you're on Silva, you have to bet Silva split and his decision. I don't think he finishes Vallejos, but Silva's split is plus 1,400. I think if he wins, I think it's probably close, and that's pretty much a very good line for one of his win conditions. If you're on Vallejos, for me, I don't know what it would be for Vallejos. I could see him easily winning a decision and having bigger moments, and I could see him finishing Silva late, even though Silva is durable. I just don't think that if he's taking the same type of shots against some of the guys that he's been taking, I just don't think he's going to be able to take those shots against Vallejos if he lands. So I'll go with Silva by split, and then I'll go with Vallejos 2-3 KO. I think that those are the best plays. I could see it go any way with Vallejos, though. I think that he's the side, but money line's terrible.
Yeah, I mean, Vallejos is good. Don't get me wrong. I've said this ever since the John Silva fight in Contender Series. I'm like, why didn't Dana White sign this guy? Like, he should have signed him as well. Like, he did well in that fight, even though he almost broke in round 3. But like, Silva's probably going to be a champion, in my opinion. So, but I'm looking at this line, and it's like minus 430, and I just think it's wrong, to be honest. Like, Danny Silva is still a good fighter. He's very durable. He's got a lot of volume. He can grapple. He has a boxing, background. Like, he rolls punches. Does he get hit? Sure. But he rolls them a lot. And honestly, I went back to a lot of tape. I've never even really seen him like hurt, like wobbling anywhere in any fight, unless you have, but I didn't see anything. You know, obviously Vallejos hits harder than all those guys. Don't get me wrong, but I think Danny Silva does a good job of holding his hands up, rolling punches. I think where he can potentially get hurt, Tim, is to the body, because Vallejos throws some nasty, nasty body shots. But I also think he can land a lot on Vallejos is there to be hit. You know, he's there to be hit, and Danny Silva will pressure you and throw a lot of volume. So I think it's a very close fight, honestly. I don't think this line's, I wouldn't say very close, a lot closer than the line indicates, right? I think Vallejos, you know, minus 250 is fine. You know, 275 is fine, but 435, it just feels like it's way, way too much, you know? So I think Danny Silva by decision. I don't think he's finishing this guy. Honestly, his decision perhaps 575. I think that's his win condition. I don't think Danny Silva, the way he wins or the way he finishes, I should say, is he breaks people, right? With his volume and cardio. He's not breaking Vallejos. Like if Silva couldn't break him in round 3, I don't think this guy's breaking him. So yeah, I like I think it's a good spot here for a close decision. Honestly, I don't really see. I mean, I could see him hurting him. Don't get me wrong. I could see him hurting him for sure. I could see him hurting him. Don't get me wrong. I could definitely see him hurting him. But Silva's shown that he's super, super tough, you know. So I'm gonna just think that he's gonna survive some of this, land his own, and Vallejos has been blah, 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 a lot on Twitter, you know, saying he's going to knock him out. He's going to miss weight. He's going to do this. He's going to do that. But we'll see. We'll see. I think Danny Silva's a little bit underrated in this spot. And I think you're paying a big tax. I mean, Vallejos just recently on Contender Series, he was like minus 2 something, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Like against that guy that's an absolute punching bag. Teague. No. He closed 500. He closed 500. I'm wrong.
Yeah, end split is plus 500 here too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame you for taking Vallejos late. You know, I think he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. So, but I think he's a little bit green and he's young. You know, so. All right, moving on. Fight number 8. It is in the welterweight division. It is the 29-13 Neil Magny versus the 25-9-1 Zaleski dos Santos. I will kick this one off. I am taking dos Santos by submission here, plus 700. I listened to his interview. He knows where Magny's weak. Magny's takedown defense is not the best. I think, honestly, Magny is really, really fading in his career. I think he's looked awful. I think that he can potentially finish Magny even by KO, but he hasn't looked that bad, man. Like he hurt Njokuani. He was very competitive with Randy Brown. And then we saw the Renat fight where he got, you know, a 10-8 in round 3. Like, I just feel like, man, this is a spot where, you know, they're both older. I just feel like one guy's a little bit more washed than the other. So yeah. Give me Zaleski here by submission. I think he's the better grappler and he's a better submission grappler too, to be honest. Tim?
Yeah, I had Dos Santos by KO here. Sorry, I'm just checking a line for later on. I think Dos Santos KO, but I mean, I agree. Like, he really hasn't grappled very much. Like, if he's saying that he's going to grapple or he says that he knows the assignment against Magny, like, I get it. I just think if you're going for takedowns and you're trying to do that against Magny, I think you're also like trying to clinch him. Like he just isn't a guy that's like shooting doubles and single legs from the middle of the cage like very often for Dos Santos. Like he has hurt a couple of different fighters in his last few fights. So standing. So I do feel like it is possible for him to hurt Magny, and Magny to me just seems kind of dusty. I think that his last 2 wins were absolute flukes. And So yeah, I'm gonna go with Dos Santos KO at plus 340. I think he knocks him out.
Yeah, I mean, that's also a possibility. That was what I was scared of, playing the sub. But yeah, I just listened to an interview, and I think maybe he goes for a takedown here. And Magny's been subbed a bunch of times, 6 times. I mean, he's finished 10 out of his 13 losses. So, I mean, it's not gone to decision many times. And I know he's fighting good guys, but like Malat was so close to finishing just off leg kicks. Same thing with Ian Gary. Like, even the ones that are going like the distance, even the Phil Rowe fight, Phil Rowe had him hurt in that fight as well. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be interesting. 2 older guys. All right, next fight. Fight number 9. It is in the bantamweight division. It is the 18-7 Carol Hosa versus the 9-2 Nora Cornolle. Tim, this one's yours.
Dude, Beavis, what's going on? What's wrong with you? I am the great.
Okay, I can't go with Cornhole this fight. I think that this fight is kind of shitty. I think I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna have like major FOMO if I miss the opportunity to bet again and lose money on Rosa round 2, round 3 here. Rosa round 2 plus 2,200, Rosa round 3 plus 2,700. Either way, I feel is could get finished here if she gasses. There's been like multiple round 3s where Rosa has just dicked around and had opportunities to finish people and she doesn't. So yeah, I'm just gonna feeling of missing out here. Major FOMO. Probably a Rosa decision or a greasy split either way, and she fumbles the bag. But yeah, Rosa round 2, round 3. I can't miss out. Just keep betting it until it hits, even if it's 50 fights later.
Yeah, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think Rosa can hurt this chick, honestly. I've seen her hurt in other fights. I've seen her hurt a couple of times. And, I mean, it's 11-1. She has power. She has KOs. I truly think that it's one of those where it's probably not going to happen. Don't get me wrong. It's probably not going to happen. But 11-1, Tim, on a KO, it's like I have to kind of play that because Rosa, for one, I will say is she can absolutely destroy her legs like she normally does. And even though this girl is a Muay Thai girl, I think she can destroy her legs. 2, this girl is very hittable on the feet, man. You saw Cavalcante landed, and Cavalcante hurt her not only in their first fight, she almost finished her. Second fight, she hurt her again. She was running away. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's WMMA at the end of the day. It's probably going to go to decision. I like Hosa here in general. I think she's better everywhere. But yeah, KO is 11-1. Small sprinkle. I don't love it, to be honest. I really don't love it. But
Narco, do you have TP? Do you have any TP for my bunghole?
no TP, no TP.
Okay, just asking.
All right, let's move on. Fight number 10. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 14-2 Estevam Ribovics versus the 16-5 Elvis Brenner. Tim, another banger, dude. Another banger. It's going to be a fun fight. Ribovics always – tell me one fight that Ribovics is that's boring. None. Last time we cashed on a big plus 200 dog on Nasrat, Tim, and it's you're like, look at Zell Huber. What a goose egg he just laid, right? So it's like, is it really a good fight? Is it a good win? Kamala Kirk fight. He's getting taken down. He wins 2-1, but like in one instance in round 3 where Kamala gets his back or something, he probably loses the fight. So like Loic beats him, and it's just like this guy seems to fight close when fights are going the distance. Brenner's gonna, if he's there in round as well, and he's probably going to be mixing in takedowns because Ribovic's takedown defense is not great. It's not great. And then his get-up game is literally a Kimura. He's good with it, but come on, that's not a way to go. So at the end of the day, the split decision is 4.5-1. The Brenner split is 14-1, right? I mean, if you look at it, right, fight to go to distance is pick a -105, Tim. Split is 450. Brenner is 14-1. I mean, how can you argue with those prices? Like, this guy is 2-2 in decisions, right? Ribovics. He's mainly a finisher. Like, he's not a decision guy. Not that Brenner's great at decisions. He's 2-4. So he's not great either. But that's the thing. Both of them are not great in decisions. And the lines are just astronomical for split, on him at 14-1. So, yeah, it's Brenner by side. I do think Ribovics probably wins this fight 29-28, maybe winning by the bigger shots, But, yeah, it should be an interesting fight, honestly. I'm looking forward to it. What do you like here?
I think Ribovics is going to KO him late. I think Brenner he's been on he's just one of these fighters where he's great because he'll fight for your money. Doesn't ever quit. Dude is almost too tough for his own good in certain fights, and he lasts longer. He lasted in his last fight way longer than I thought he should have. Versus Joel, and I feel like even versus Guram, like his head is split open, his blonde hair is completely red, like he's just surviving. Like he's in a lot of these fights, he's just showing mad toughness and durability, and I feel like as tough as he is, I feel like Ribovics is even tougher and more durable at this point and has taken less damage. And I just think that eventually, I think that Ribovics is going to catch him. And I feel like if the Ribovics versus Haqparast, I think if there was like 20 to 30 seconds left in the third round, he finishes him there. And Haqparast is like super, super durable as well. I just feel like he's going to eventually catch him with some shots and just finish him late. I think, again, I think if you're on Brenner, I think the decision, like you said, I think the decision and split are great because I don't think I think if he doesn't get finished, I think he could have some moments. But the problem with him winning like just a decision alone is he's going to get outstruck like 1.5 or 2-1 versus Ribovics here, that much volume. So I think he's going to need some moments to win a decision. But yeah, give me Ribovics. KO2 is +700, KO3 is +1,000.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly looked at those because I think and he can you seen it in the Zal Huber fight. Like it was a fucking war and he still kept coming. But
it was so awesome. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the same thing can kind of be said for Brenner. Like he was getting destroyed. Even in the regional fight against Gabriel Santos, he almost finished Santos. He was in full mount, just raining down shots, dogs in him for sure. Like that, no doubt. The last fight against Joel Alvarez, it's just too long, too big. Those knees just fucked him up.
Yeah.
The knees and the clinch and the shots, just too much for him. Yeah.
The Ribovics Selhuber fight in round 3 was so hilarious because it's not like a flash knockdown. It's like a legitimate knockdown from Selhuber. And he loses unanimously after Ribovics gets up and absolutely beats the living shit out of him. You rarely see that in fights.
So they're saying the live is laggy tonight. Thought it was my internet. What is going on? Why is it laggy?
Is it laggy for both of us? Because every once in a while,
is it both of us, guys? Because I don't. It's skipping. They're saying. Wow. Well, that's not good. Both. Wow. It's nothing on my end. I'm looking at my internet. Yeah, yeah, I don't see anything on my end. It shouldn't be. Some people say it's not on my end, and some people okay. Anyways, that's weird. Yeah, I wish somebody. I wish I would have saw that earlier. Somebody posted it, but I didn't see it. All right. Hopefully, I'm getting the spinning circle. What the heck? What is going on? It's got to be a YouTube thing, honestly, because I'm looking at my internet. It's perfect. It's literally perfect on my end. I don't know. All right. Next fight. Co-main event of the night. It is in the lightweight division. It is the 13-2 Chris Duncan versus the 20-2 Matthias Rebecki. Tim, great fight here. Two teammates. What do you got?
This is interesting. I like this fight a lot. I think that this is, Rebecki for me is like a fighter that I haven't been getting like right at all. Like I feel like the only fight I got right on him was the Orelbai fight by decision, and that was glorious. But I was wrong on him versus CDF. I was wrong with his Dana White Contender Series fight. I think it was against Fiore. Or maybe that was his debut in the UFC, but shown in certain fights that he can gas. Like he's shown in gassing Ferreira that's nothing because everybody does if you're trying to grapple in transitions with him. Gassing against Fiore in round was major red flag. That's when in the fight after they fought, I was like, God damn it, I knew he fucking gassed against Fiore. Like, why wouldn't I think that he could possibly gas here? But then Orelbai, like, dude, he's absolutely cooking late in that fight too, and they're fighting ball. I don't think that Duncan is fast enough and durable damage that Orelbai took, and for me, it's I think Rebecki KO is good. I think round one, and like I think it could be a club and sub as well, but I would lean KO for him. I think Duncan is ass pulled like 2 or 3 of his victories just by being durable as shit and coming back. The Charlie Campbell was insane. I just think that he's not going to necessarily have the opportunity to get the Gilly here. I think Rebecki's going to KO him in the first or second round.
Yeah, I mean, I like Rebecki here quite a bit. I honestly think it's sub, just because of when I watch Chris Duncan, right, like against Torres, where he kind of got out physicaled, right? Torres just out physicaled him to the ground and then just rear naked choke. I could see the same thing with Rebecki. Like he's going to be more physical. He's a hoss. He's going to destroy his legs. That's the thing. Like I think he's going to kick his legs very hard. And, I do think that Duncan might shoot potentially himself and end up in something, himself. So, I kind of like Rebecki sub here, to be honest. It's +7. It's 700. I know he doesn't have a ton of subs. He throws a lot of heat on the feet, but he's got 7 of them. He's got, Contender Series. He had the RNC. He got the armbar against Roberts. And then he has a bunch of heel hooks and arm bars previous to that. So maybe he can get also like the crucifix, dude. He loves that crucifix position. And I mean, that would be a KO then. That would lean towards you. But yeah, Rebecki sub for me, 7-1. I just thought the price is a little bit off him. So I'm going to go with that 7-1 on the sub for Rebecki. I think he's the better grappler. I think he's more physical. And at some point, this guy's going to, Chris Duncan is not going to keep pulling these wins out of his ass. He's getting dominated by Oki, pulls a guillotine. Vucinic, he was winning that fight, but then Vucinic was coming on, and then he guillotines him. Ashmouz gets his arm broken in round 1, and he's fighting a one-arm fighter for 3 rounds. Omar Morales, super close fight. He wins a split decision. It's like, when is this shit going to end, And listen, I like Chris Duncan. I think he's a fun fighter, but I think it's coming to an end here against Rebecki, honestly. And one more thing to note, Rebecki asked for this fight a long time ago when Miguel Figlek pulled out of the fight against Chris Duncan, another Polish guy. He was in the gym at the time. Rebecki was there with him in ATT, and he said, I'll take the fight. And Duncan's camp did not take the fight. They didn't want it. His manager or whoever said no. And now they wanted the fight again. And I kind of have a feeling there's a reason. Rebecki must know that these guys have trained together. They're 100% they've trained together. And I think the Rebecki's gotten the best of him, and he wanted to fight. Doesn't mean he's going to win. That doesn't mean he's going to win. But 100 is just something that... All right, before we go on to the main event, 357 in here. Appreciate all of you below. Smash it like this. Bang. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my Discord down below. You'll get that money times 20. And also, if you don't have a Bet Online account, link is down below. You get $250 in free bets. Also, sports. Also, another one where you get another $250 in free bets. It's literally a clone of Bet Online. So if you have a Bet Online, you can have a sports betting AG. I mean, you can have both. They're limited to, 500, Tim. Maybe you can hit 500 on, some more on sportsbetting.ag. I'm just saying. All right. Main event. It is in the flyweight division. It is the 16-1 Tatsuro Taira versus the 10-0 Hyun Sung Park. I like Taira a lot, man. I think he showed a lot in that last loss. He showed heart, showed determination. He showed his grappling skills against a very hard guy to hold down, man. Royval is super, super hard to hold down. And in rounds 2 and 4, I believe, he had like 4 minutes control in each round. And Royval did everything in his power to get out of those positions, and he couldn't. And he just kept flowing with him and flowing with him and flowing with him. And he went a hard 5 rounds. He almost got finished. Don't get me wrong. I think it was round 3. He almost got finished. But like Royval's very long. He throws a ton of volume. His cardio is insane. He's a very good scrambler, grappler himself. So he kind of gave him a lot of issues. And like in those positions that he had like 4 minutes of control in rounds 2 and 4, he probably finishes like 95% of the people. But like Royval's super hard to finish. You can't sub the guy. It's very, very, and it's hard to knock him out on the ground because he's constantly moving. So, yeah, I mean, I'm looking at Taira's hands too, man. They're coming along really well. I love his boxing. It's getting really good. He's got good calf kicks. It's just his whole game is rounding around. It's coming together, and he's only 25. And his opponent, he looks pretty good. He's 10-0. He's undefeated. He looks good. But like the level of competition has been pretty low, and no slight to him. He's been finishing all of them. So I'm not going to take that away from him. But I mean, this is a monster step up on short notice for a 5-round fight. One guy has been 5 rounds. One guy has not. And that's a major difference, and it's a spotlight. It's the main event. Tatsuro's been there against Royval, in a huge spot and a huge against one of the best flyweights in the world. And I just think this is too much for Park to chew here. I think the grappling is going to be a difference. We don't know much about Park's grappling, but I have seen him taken down on the regional scenes against, I think it was this Kim guy, Joe Hwan Kim. He took him down a couple of times. He was on top of him. And honestly, round 2 against Shannon Ross was not the best look. He was getting tagged up in round 2 quite a bit before he found the body shot. Those were bad optics for me. So, I mean, Sunguk Choi fight, these guys, man, to be honest. Sunguk Choi is not it was 1-1 going into. Yeah, I mean, he's just absolutely running through them. It's competitive. So, yeah, for the Chiras, I was a lot higher on Chiras than most people. Go back and watch Joshua Van fight. What did Chiras do to Joshua? He had him on Queer Street a couple of times. He's a big, huge, strong, physical flyweight, Chiras. He's not an easy guy to deal with. So, yeah, that fight, it is what it is. But the other ones, he pretty much dominated everybody else. So, yeah. I mean, I like Taira here to find a sub, honestly. There's question marks with this guy's ground game. We don't know for sure. He said in an interview he's a blue belt, but he only trains no-gi. So he says, I sub black belts in my gym. That's exactly his words. Were Park's words. But let's just see what kind of black belts he was subbing, because Taira, I think, is elite on the ground, and I think he finds a sub here. Taira sub 345 plus 600. I think it's not early when this guy is fresh, but I think it's later when this guy slows down big time. So give me 345 sub at plus 600. Tim, what do you got?
I just have plain round 2, round 3, round 4 for Taira. I think he could sub him. I think sub is the definitely way more likely path, but I wouldn't be shocked if he knocked him out either. Knocked out Carlos Hernandez. Both a common opponent. Like you said, Shannon Ross is having some success striking versus him. I don't know. I just think this is going to be a tough matchup. I think that he's going to be able to get him out in second or third, maybe fourth round at the latest. So yeah, 2, 3, 4, 6-1, 9.5-1, 14-1, just any method.
Yeah, I mean, it could be ground and pound. He's very good with that body triangle and turning on top and then throwing elbows. So yeah, I mean, that wouldn't shock me either. But yeah. All right, Tim, Lambo parlay time. We don't want to throw
likes over 100.
What?
I threatened the chat if the likes were not over 100 that, hey.
Who knows? Our stream is lagging. I don't want to keep them anymore. I don't know what's going on today, honestly. You were just lagging right now when you were talking, so
okay.
It's been bad. All right, let me go first. I have my Lambo parlay is Austin Bashi by sub, Vieira by sub, Rebecki by sub, 34-1. My other one is Klein by sub, Ribovics by decision, Taira by sub, 45-1. Tim, what do you got?
I have Rebecki by KO, Dos Santos by KO, Bashi by sub, 24-1. I went small on that one. If you wanted to get greasier, you could add Vieira sub. It's 82-1, but
that's it. 347 live viewers. Appreciate all of you. If you want. Good luck tomorrow. I will be doing the final bell tomorrow early on, probably around 2 Eastern, 11 my time. So yeah, thank you for everybody for joining. Appreciate all of you. Hit the like on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all the support. Good luck tomorrow. Let's cash these tickets for UFC Vegas 108. Take care.